What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtisshaw TV. We're going to do a video today on transfer talk about Arsenal and just the latest on what's going on at the moment. Just want to start off quickly by saying, happy Father's Day for yesterday. Sometimes good dads, man, we don't get enough respect for what we do. But right, let's get into it anyway. The latest on Yannick Carrasco. Now, for me, it's been clear and evident that Arsenal have needed a quality winger, maybe even two wingers, for the last few years since we lost Alexis Sanchez and lost Oxlade-Chamberlain. And we're falling into a situation where I think we've been quite fortunate that we're in a situation where we've got a good chance of getting Yannick Carrasco, the Belgium international who's in China. Apparently, his club in China are asking for about £25 million to sign him. But the rumours are that they want all the money up front. And guess what? Arsenal, supposed to be a big club. They want a cash converter deal, buy now, pay later. It's ridiculous, really. One of the 10 biggest clubs in world football can't pay £25 million up front for a player. And the question, and you'll see the title in the video, is where is the money? What is Stan Kroenke doing with the money? I said in an interview at the back end of last season that I think the fans need to act, and I think they need to be protesting against this guy. You either back Unai Emery properly, give him the funds he needs to rebuild, or the fans need to put pressure on this guy to try and sell the club. Because right now he's sitting pretty and no one, apart from a few videos where fans are ranting about it, he's not under no pressure. We need to make real noise, boycott games. When you're there, protest, put the pressure on. This isn't our top football club should operate. Teams like West Ham are buying players straight away, 25 million, players that we were linked with. We clearly need a winger. We're fortunate that Carrasco seems desperate to come back to Europe. Other clubs aren't really going for him. He's 25. We should be snapping him up. What's the problem? Where's the money? We're lucky that we'd be able to get him. He's certainly better than Mkhitaryan and Iwobi, and for me, we should be getting him. On the flip side as well, we're in the middle of June now, coming towards, not far away from the end of June. We haven't sold anybody of any real substance in terms of, getting proper money in. I saw the other day we sold David Ospina, 30 years old, played not every game, but played the majority of the games last season at Napoli, who finished second in Serie A, Colombia's #1 goalkeeper. And guess what? We got £3.5 million for him. Typical Arsenal. If that was Liverpool, I think he would have gone for, 15 to 20 million pounds. So it's a sorry state of affairs really at the moment at Arsenal. There's a lot of dead wood that we need to be selling. And at the moment, we seem to be struggling to sell players. Ozil's agent seemed to be implying that he'll stay at the club for the rest of his contract, the remaining 2 years. Mkhitaryan, they haven't been able to move. El Neni, Mustafi. Look, I know there's probably 5-6 weeks till the window closes. But when you finish the season, how we finished, which was very poor, you want to see decisive action. Make moves quickly. Get players sold. Get new players in. Make a statement. Get a big player signed and show, look, we're not just going to roll over and accept that. We want success. For me, Arsenal Football Club, from the very top, they are not demanding success. We're being linked with Saliba from Saint Etienne, 18 years old. To be honest, I don't know a lot about him. I'd heard his name before, but I don't think I've even seen him play once. I've seen a few clips on YouTube. He looks good. He's being called the new Varane. And Arsenal may have to look at that approach, signing younger players with big potential, because we don't have the money to compete with the big boys, City and Liverpool, Man United. They've got much bigger finances than us. Saliba, they're talking about buying him and loaning him back for a year. I mean, for me, we're not in a position to do that. We finished outside of the top 4 for a 3rd season in a row. We are now, in my opinion, being viewed around world football as a Europa League side. People live in the present, not the past. You can't talk about the qualifications for the Champions League before. We are currently not as an attractive proposition as we once have been. We've got instability, staff members being sacked and being moved. The manager in the last year of his contract, who knows what's going to happen with him. A lot of deadwood there that they need to shift. And I just think Arsenal need to become more decisive. Make your moves, make your, get your players out and rebuild this team. Because if we're in a similar situation this season as we was last year in terms of personnel, if we've got the majority of that squad, I don't see how this team can progress. I really don't. The Premier League is going to get harder and harder. The teams below us will begin to catch us. Your Leicesters, your Wolves, your West Hams, Watford. These teams will spend big, and it's only a matter of time before someone else breaks into that top six. And at the moment, you would say it's Arsenal who would be the team who would fall out. Look, it's not panic stations. We don't need to press the red button, but the club need to start moving decisively before we get left behind. Another thing I've been worrying about, and I discussed this with someone, is Aubameyang. For me, I would have loved to have heard the club come out and say, look, we will not sell Aubameyang at any price. We want to give him a new deal. We want to build the team around him. I hear a lot of this resale value. Oh, we can't sign him. We can't sell him for much in the future. Sometimes you don't sign a player to sell them on for any major money. We lost Alexis Sanchez, who was our best player and our number one goal scorer. We were very, very fortunate to get Aubameyang, considering we was in the Europa League at the time. I think when you sign a 28-year-old for 50+ million, you're not buying him to know that you're going to make any major money back in the future. He's come in, he's scored goals, joint top goal scorer in the Premier League, without great wingers, without great creativity, and I think he's the best player in our team at the moment. Lacazette's all-round game is fantastic, but goal scoring is the hardest job in football for me. This guy's scoring goals in a competitive league, in a team that lacks balance. Imagine if we had better players around him. I think, he could get closer to the 30-goal mark in terms of league goals. Let's enjoy having Aubameyang and Lacazette instead of moaning and picking fault. For me, I think Arsenal have got the worst defence and the worst midfield in the top six. I don't know what you think. Maybe you'll name other teams who you think are worse, but I think we have so much problems in those two areas. Defensively, we're weak. We've got old players. I think we lack pace, particularly at centre-back. I don't think Socrates fixed our defence. People have raved about him. I don't think he's much better than the defenders we already had. I think in midfield we lack balance, we lack power. We haven't replaced Santi Cazorla, who left, he hasn't really played for Arsenal in years. We don't have that guy to dictate possession in midfield, and I don't think we have a real powerhouse in there either who can stop teams bullying us. So I think we have a complete lack of balance in midfield, and of course out wide, I just don't think the wingers are good enough. Iwobi, for me, I don't think he's Arsenal quality, but for me, I think this has to be his last season at the club if he doesn't improve massively. Mkhitaryan's been a flop at this stage. No consistency. He was good for 6 weeks or so, but the rest of the season he wasn't great. We have to make improvements. Hopefully over the next few weeks we see some movement. The international break's finished now, so hopefully the clubs start, getting some business done. Who do you think we should sign? Who do you think we should sell? Leave it in the comments. Let's have a discussion about it. Remember to like and subscribe. More videos coming up over the next couple of weeks, especially as, hopefully we start to do some business and we've got some topics to talk about. So look out for the new videos. See you soon. Bless.